everybody. Sorry, now I still don't get the giggles out. It's fine. And welcome to the one shot tonight that we're playing called the Holy Hooves, aka Oops, All Clerics, which is totally 100% on purpose by my lovely players. Before we get started, does everyone want to go around and just introduce yourself and who y'all are playing tonight? Starting with Kaila.
Hi, I'm Kaila. I am here with the lovely mayor to play centaur named Ursa Major.
Her last name's Major too.
Yeah.
It's fine. Jordan.
Hi, I'm Lady Dame, Jordan, aka Lady Dame, and I am playing Plumeria Windswept. Which is it? Doesn't matter because the name's gonna change a bunch anyway.
Mindy.
Hi, I am Mindy. Tonight I'll be playing Granny May. That's all you. That's. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. This is all so fancy.
And last but not least, Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven, and I'll be playing Ravados Firemain, a centaur with a flair for the dramatic.
I hear you shouting, dear.
Just let him do it. It makes him happy, so it's fine. Don't worry about
To
it.
be fair, my hearing is going very quickly. So.
Well, see, then it works out just fine.
Oh dear, maybe
Oh,
not.
God.
So, we start off the adventure at the very, very northern edge of the continent of Etios, around the city of Falkirk. Falkirk is a city that is set in a snowy mountain range. And the mountain range itself is actually at the very, very edge of the continent, kind of like it was just all sheared in half, and it has a nice, lovely drop to the sea below. But y'all aren't in the city proper yet. You're just outside the city meeting your contact because your group has been hired for a job. Would y'all like to introduce and describe yourselves as you wait for your contact to arrive?
Well, as I said, I'm Granny May. That's M-A-E, and I am a little bit on the older side. Many years of wisdom, though. I am a light gray with bright blue eyes. My age is showing. My shoulders are a little hunched, but I have cookies, so everything's gonna be okay.
I do have an important question though. What kind of cookies?
Cookies with chocolate chips and love.
My favorite.
Plumeria is sort of standing around looking very impatient and sort of stamping her foot. She is a let's see. I thought about this for a second. She is a dappled centaur, sort of like a chestnutty color. Her mane and tail are very clearly dyed a bright red that is incredibly fake looking. And she is dressed and draped in sort of all of these like different fabrics of bright colors. And you're not entirely sure if there's armor going on or not. It's very cleverly disguised and lots of like hidden scarf pocket situations that you're not quite sure what's going on, but she looks very impatient.
Rava, do you want to go next, or do you want to go next, Ursa?
I can go next. My name is Ursa Major. I am a silver-colored centaur with long purple hair that in the sunlight shifts to a dark blue color. And if you look on the hind leg of my body, you will find what are stars printed. Completely faux, but it's necessary. I'm just kind of waiting around, observing, keeping to myself just a little bit.
All right. And Rava is a larger centaur. They've got a black back and body with a red, natural red hair and tail and mane and feathering around their hooves.
As y'all are waiting for your contact and your client to arrive, it is lightly snowing, not heavy. It's like a very brisk, probably mid-morning. Not too long after, eventually coming around the corner from the south is a carriage. Sled, of course, because this is the snow and there's runners and wheels ain't gonna do shit. And pulled by two regular horses. It eventually arrives in front of your group, and out walks a half-elf. She has curly brown hair, and bright green eyes, and she's wrapped in a fur-lined cloak. And she steps out of this, and she's immediately flanked by a probably like 8-foot tall, some kind of creature made out of clay that creaks from the cold as its joints move. And it just kind of like stands right to her side. I do have a quick question. Is your group name actually the Holy Hooves?
It depends on who's asking.
After she has settled, she waves her cloak to get some snow off of it and just like looks at all of you. Are you?
Hi.
Hello.
You're late.
Plumeria, be nice.
I'm sorry. I hate to be a bother, but y'all are late.
Well, I'm also going to be the one paying you, so I wouldn't get too much on my nerves if you want your money.
Well, if you want your shard, I suggest you not be late next time. Thanks.
Last time I checked, it was just a late morning, nothing on the dot. But anyway, I'm assuming, minus the bad attitude, you're the group that I am to hire?
Indeed.
I have heard a lot about your group. Fairly well known. Success rate's fairly high, so thank you very much for going and agreeing to do this for me. I am AC, and she'll nod her head at each of you. I know the correspondence was vague, but it's easier to tell you all to your face and get into more details without interception, but I am hiring you to steal a jewel from the Goron family.
Well, you've asked the right centaurs.
Are you familiar with them at all?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Are you familiar with them at all?
Are we familiar with them at all?
As a general broad, something you would all know. The Goron family is a well-known dwarven family in the city and one of the largest mining families. They mostly mine precious metals like gold and silver, and occasionally they do find a lot of the cheap gems, but they tend to ignore it. There's been a recent hubbub in the city because they found a vein of something called kyber shards or kyber crystals, and they've kind of been bragging a little bit. If you want to know more, you can roll.
I would say, what do we know about those crystals?
If you would like to know more about the family, you can roll history or arcana for the crystals.
I rolled 13 for arcana.
I rolled 16 for history.
Rolled a 21, Kana.
Oh.
Nope.
Neither. So
Actually, that's a dirty one.
a dirty one. Love it.
Even better.
Ursa,
Yep.
What you know about the family? Oh, go ahead, Raven.
It was a 0 for history, by the way.
Oof. Ursa, what you know about the family is what I've told you already. They tend to mine silver and gold, and they tend to also find cheap gems, quote unquote. They recently found the Kyber Shard vein, but they're also not known for having the safest work conditions, which has put them in a bad light and has gotten them kind of a bit of rivalry with a gang called the Shrews. The Shrews are former mine workers who just are now making the mine owner's life a living hell, usually with explosives. Rava, what you know about Kyber shards and crystals is that they are most often used in magical items, and their specialty is being able to be used as kind of like a container for like spirits, elementals, and such like that. With your high check, there's nothing confirmed because this is the first time they've really been discovered in Falkirk, but they think smart people like wizards and the magically inclined believe that they are from another plane. And for those of you at home, they're from Eberron.
Well, what is it exactly that you're needing us to get?
My employer, Jarek Pistanza, is in need of a large Kyber shard that the Goron family recently uncovered from their mines. Why he needs it is frankly on a need-to-know basis, but we need it for our particular project. And we're not the best suited to go stealing into the Goron family's warehouses.
Well, if you're asking us to go into it and to deal with them and the possibility of being blown up in their minds,
Well,
I think it's a need to know for us.
blown up. What do you mean by that?
You haven't heard.
Heard what?
The mines that they keep aren't the safest. A lot of people get hurt. Worse. So some people left. They call them the Shrews. They wreak havoc on the mines now with traps and explosives. It's not the easiest thing to get in and out of anymore.
Well, my intel told me that the shard that they found and uncovered has already been excavated. So I hope you don't have to go into the mines. I was told that it's going to be in one of their warehouses in the mining district.
Oh, well, that's better. However, I'm sorry, Ursa, did you say that there's a rival gang involved? Because if so, that means our prices just went up.
There is, in fact, and I would say that any property that this family owns is fair game.
I do have a good budget to work with.
Oh, good.
And frankly, I don't care what happens to the property as long as you don't get caught and I don't get caught.
Oh, I think we can manage that.
Perfectly fine.
Are there any questions I can answer for you?
When you say large, how large are we talking?
Will we know it when we see it?
Yes, I do actually have a couple small crystals, if you would like to see them.
Ooh.
And she rummages through like her inner pockets and pulls out, probably only like this big. It looks very much like opal, dark with multicolored insides, and it sparkles. It looks like this. And when I say large, I mean large. Not easily carried with your hands. You cannot pick it up. not simply. I don't have exact dimensions, but my guess is you might need a cart.
Oh, well,
Wonderful.
And it needs to be undamaged, or else I will not be able to use it for my projects.
So you're covering the cost of the cart, correct?
How much is a cart? But I can pay for a
100
cart for you.
gold.
Roll a I don't know how much it is off the top of my head, but roll a persuasion check.
I can do that. It might also be I mean, she has no idea, so she's just making off a figure. Would deception maybe also count?
Oh yeah, sorry, deception.
Yeah.
It's 100 GP.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, beautiful.
I thought I was making that up. I mean, I rolled. Okay, actually, my deception and persuasion are the same anyway, so that's a 24.
She nods.
Okay.
Yes, 1 minute.
Dang.
She
Should've
turns
gone
around.
higher.
She turns around. This creature made of clay is still just standing there. It has stood there this entire time, just staring at you with like the snow landing on it and slowly piling up while you're having this conversation. She turns around and goes back into the carriage and comes back out with a small bag and will hand it to you. Inside is 10 platinum.
Thank you.
Actually,
Perfect.
14 platinum.
Oh, this is so sweet.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll go digging in my bag and I'll offer her a cookie.
She'll slowly extend her hand. Thank you. Miss.
May. Granny May.
Thank you, Miss May.
Mm-hmm.
She'll hold on to it. When do you expect to get this job completed? What time frame do you expect?
How far away is this warehouse that we're looking at? And also, yeah, how far away is this warehouse?
It is in the city proper. I'd say y'all are only probably like an hour outside the city. But when you get into the city proper, it's definitely on like the northern end of town. You can get there probably by early afternoon.
Okay.
The drop-off point is going to be outside the mountain range, if that is agreeable to you. I will need to, I have the correct type of travel there, because I will not be able to bring this cart with me to carry the stone.
I mean, no time like the present. I'm sure we can have it by morning.
Very well. I will, in case there are any unexpected problems, I will wait till tomorrow evening.
Perfect. One of us can send you a message, I'm sure. That's generally how we do these things.
Magical message, I'm assuming?
Of course.
Beautiful. The name you will need to send it to is Ashera. And if you don't need me, I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
She will turn around. This large, hulking clay monstrosity behind her and walks back into the carriage. And she will ride off.
Well, this should be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. So,
Ha! Was that a joke? It was funny.
of course, everything I say is hilarious.
Ursa just rolls her eyes so far back they might get stuck.
Don't do that, dear. I've told you that before. They're going to get stuck.
And Granny, I've told you not to say your name to people. At least your
Oh.
real one, anyway.
Who says that's my real name, dearie?
You know, Ursa, I have tried. That's why I have like 3 different identities.
Oh.
But don't worry about it.
I like this one. This one's one of my favorites.
Oh, this one's Frisia. Frisia's a bit of an itwit, but it's fine.
It
So,
hurts. It's yeah. So
okay.
Who's taking lead on this one?
Well, any ideas about how we do this? I figure the sooner the better we get into that the sooner we get into that warehouse, the better, before they start to get an inkling that something's up. But we should probably, I don't know, case the joint, see what's there, see who's guarding, because there's got to be guards.
It's a good idea. It's always best to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
When you all head back into the city, it's actually a bustling trade city because this is not the only family that does operations in the mines. There's a couple rivers, frozen, that run through, and you do see people skating from destination to destination, as well as people on sleighs that need to travel. Where are you heading?
We gonna go towards.
I would guess towards the place that we're gonna be scrounging around.
So towards the warehouse?
Towards the warehouse, but not directly to it.
We're going to take the scenic route through the back part of the city. No. It's good to get a feel for the neighborhood.
Of course.
Before you steal from it.
Always a good plan. Keeping an eye out for like a really junky like shop that sells carts that would sell them for super cheap.
How cheap are you looking?
Like one use only.
Like really cheap.
Well, it's got to be good enough that it will get us to the drop-off point, which is out of town by quite a ways.
We're also centaurs. As long as it has like 4 wheels that mostly work and a bottom to it, it's fine.
Like, I'm okay.
As y'all are making your way to the district, one of the mining districts, because there's more than one in this city. Plumeria, since you're specifically looking for a cheap-ass cart, do you want to roll me either a perception or investigation?
I'll do a perception check.
Sure.
I have 1 negative stat. Give you a guess as to which one that one is. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, as you are traveling, you do see, you're probably like going through the district that is essentially general stores, schooling, apothecaries, and stuff like that, as well as like inns. Inns are everywhere. You do see just a general store with a rickety old cart that is currently being unloaded with supplies into the store. It doesn't say that it's for sale, but you do see it is a crappy looking cart.
Mm-hmm.
It is currently hitched to a donkey.
Hey, oi, you are there.
The roughly medium height bronze dragonborn over like some bales of like bags of grain is like, huh? You talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I want to buy your cart.
I need this cart. I make deliveries.
I'll give you 20 gold for it.
He looks at it. He looks at you. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 11.
I still need to unload the cart. If you help me unload it, I guess.
1 second. Hey, oi, Rava.
Yes.
Help this guy unload this cart.
Very well. And I think he would then go over and kind of like start to tip the cart and then think better of it.
Oh, no, stop. Don't do that.
And then just start one-handing each bag.
I feel like he starts grabbing and like kind of like books it into the general store. Because you're just kind of, I feel like you're just like doing this.
Something like that. Why bother bending over?
Yeah, basically.
Where's my bag?
Bad for your back.
By the time you are throwing these bags of grain at him, essentially, he's out of breath. Do you need the donkey? Are you gonna?
Wouldn't hurt.
Are you,
I think. Oh no.
Why do we need a donkey? We've got Rava over there.
Because if I can't sell my donkey.
Oh, that's perfect. You keep your donkey, and we'll keep Rava.
Okay, give me a second. Freya, I gotta unhitch you from the cart.
What a lovely name.
And he'll start unhitching Freya, the donkey, from the cart. Okay. Pleasure doing business with you.
Mm-hmm.
He holds out hands to you.
I drop a bag in his hand.
He'll look at it, do a quick count. How much
There's
is it?
15 gold in there.
You said 20.
Rava, go!
I'm not hit to it.
Plumeria, give the boy the money.
Boy.
Dragonborn.
Sorry, must have miscounted. It's
Uh,
sorry. Just little slow on the uptake sometimes. Sometimes I miscount and I count out 5 more gold.
Counting is very difficult. You only have so many fingers and fingers.
Thanks.
I have 10.
We only have
think-
10. Once we go past 10, it gets very difficult.
Come on, Freya. And he gives y'all a really weird look as he starts leading the donkey off.
Have a good day. Stay out of trouble.
Y'all have a rickety cart.
Perfect.
Which I guess you're hitching to Rava? If Rava's cool with it?
Might as well.
Y'all are centaurs.
We are.
We are, but there's a reason Rava's in this party. We needed muscle.
Rava is strong.
Great. Strong.
So strong.
Rava is strong.
One of the wheels makes this really annoying creaking sound.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, no, not wheels, because this is a sleigh.
Sleigh.
It's not a smooth ride. It's kind of like as you're moving.
Is it broken?
No, it just looks like the runners were not evenly cut,
Oh. That's.
and it's a little. If someone was in it, it would be super annoying.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You're not in the cart. It's fine.
We only have to carry like a very valuable kyber crystal in it.
It's
Don't worry
fine.
about it.
It's
It's totally fine.
It's fine.
It's gonna be great.
It's perfect for what we need.
Is it?
Where to?
Can-
Sorry, go
can-
ahead, Raven.
As we're going along, can I just like repeatedly cast mending on it to make it less rickety?
I was gonna. That's. If I see him
Trip
doing
ma-
that, can I help?
I see no reason why not.
I don't actually know if it's helping. And I'm only working on one spot.
Rule
Because it's
of cool.
moving and it's a lot.
Rule of cool. I'm the DM. I say yes. It is less rickety. There are definitely some cracks in the wood that you can fix. So maybe if you bump into something, it's not gonna completely splinter. It doesn't actually 100% fix like the bouncing back and forth, but it does look less likely that it's going to fall apart.
I hope some of us have rope so we can at least tie the crystal down.
I have plenty rope.
Then we should be good.
I don't ever go on a job without rope. Ever.
It's a very important item
We're
with
good.
many uses.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to go there. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. I've lived a long life.
Oh, Granny's got stories.
Shall we go stake out the warehouse now that I've learned too much about Granny May?
It's tomorrow, y'all. It's tomorrow.
As you begin to make your way out of this general store apothecary district, you do have to go through some of the crafting districts, so jewelry and glasswork. The entire mountain range is surrounded by desert, so it's not uncommon for people just to, like, take sand, bring it back to their workshop, and just blow glass. So you have to go through a couple of those districts until you reach the mining district, which also houses the warehouse for all the families that do business here. Sorry, I gotta change the playlist. When you get there, it's kind of a mix of the family estates as well as just general roads leading through to go to another districts, because there's also like a where all the fancy people and the rich people and like the Senate work and live. That's like way, way, way out in the north end of town. But it's less crowded here than where you found the cart. Someone roll me some kind of like either investigation check or like a survival check, but like maybe like intelligence based, so like to navigate the town to see where you can find where you're going.
Okay.
I could do a survival, but if not, if it's intelligence based.
Okay. 16, 17.
18. On survival.
All right. You are both easily able to kind of like pinpoint where their warehouses are. As you're just like meandering through this area. They have like a small block probably of like 3 or 4 different warehouses. They're pretty large. I would say each one's probably like 100-foot square. And tall 2-story buildings built sturdily out of wood and metal. Not a lot of windows on the ground floor, but you outside in the front, they each seem to have a couple guards out front.
I'll kind of nod my head in that direction. What some lovely buildings they have here.
Fancy part of town, for sure.
Pet the cat.
So, sorry, there's 2 buildings?
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4, okay.
Yeah.
Do they all have guards?
Yes.
Okay.
Ursa, with your check from earlier, you know that the family, the Goran family, is the mining family that is hit by the shrews the most. And that's why, and they have a tendency to hire a lot of guards to offset that.
The warehouse that is the heavily guarded, that's where we're gonna want to look. They have them in place because of all the sabotages.
How impressive do these guards look? Are they just like people that like, hey, like we just go watch the door, or are they like
Are they run-a-cops or are they like?
go and watch the door?
Yeah.
Rent-a-cops or actual fucking mercs? Why don't you roll me an insight check?
Oh God. Oh, okay. Whoa, I'm very insightful. 24.
17.
Damn, Granny May.
I've met many people in my days.
Ursa, you can tell that all of these guards that are outside in front of the warehouses they know what they're doing. They carry their weapons comfortably, and their armor is not for show. Granny May, there is a pair of guards in front of like the second warehouse who they have like this deadly accuracy of like an aura around them. Like, you know not to fuck with these two.
Those two individuals, they look very impressive. You said something about extra protection, Ursa dear?
Yeah, they've bumped up security due to everything going on with the shrews.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if some of what we're looking for is in that second building then.
I had a giant kyber crystal. I would definitely put some impressive looking mercs in front of it. Alternately, I would get the shoddiest looking mercs in front of it and put the other ones in front of the other warehouse. Because the shoes are going to hit the really impressive looking clerks because they're guarding the valuable stuff. It's yeah.
So many factors to consider.
I know.
You
So
may
what's
be
the
thinking about
strategy?
it too hard.
Where are y'all having this conversation?
I imagine we're like casually cruising through the streets, drawing no attention as we're
Talk about mercs.
just out here looking for
Mm-hmm.
disease.
Speaking centaur.
Yeah.
We're about to check the work conditions. Heard there's been some
He's
spread of disease.
We could ask and see if they've heard anything and see if maybe not me.
Yeah, what's the play? The angle? Are we going in as as clerics? Are we going in as are we going in for the center of disease controls? Hearing that we heard an outbreak?
We're going in as our day jobs, yeah.
All right.
If nothing else, to at least, see what we can see. We need to know what's inside. Other ways to get in and out.
You have to ask them to inspect the warehouses to make sure they're within guidelines.
This is important.
Everyone's 6 feet apart and wearing masks.
Reminder to wear your fucking mask.
Yeah. Maybe something about these kyber crystals, like that that we're hearing about a new batch that's come out that is making people sick or something like that.
Yeah.
Does everybody know about the crystals? Everybody, is that
Doesn't have to.
common-ish? Not that
Public knowledge?
is that public-ish,
is that
or would that be suspicious?
It's not like specific public knowledge, but it has been like whispered around the city.
Oh well,
that
they're very
the-
important.
that,
Very important medical team. So,
that the Goron family found something special in their minds.
okay, so-
That talk has been going around, definitely.
Well, maybe we were hired by the family to come and just make sure everything is safe for further excavation.
I have
Yeah,
had.
I like it. You have had an idea, Rava?
Yes. I
So,
heard-
Lay it on us.
I've heard of a town where healers go through with a cart calling for the dead.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What if
Okay.
we were to approach, calling out, "Bring out your dead."
I don't think that's the route we should take yet.
I'm intrigued by this proposition, to be
Maybe
sure.
as a backup.
I
How-
mean, I could lay in the back and pretend to be dead.
Granny May.
Yeah, but we don't want them to come out. We want to be able to get in. So bringing out dead, also that's assuming they have dead, which we don't know that they have.
I'm pretty sure they don't, but
How close would they want to be to inspect a cart full of the dead? I might be able to just waltz right on in.
We don't have a cart of the dead, though. It's an empty cart.
I could be in the cart.
Doesn't
Granny
run very
May,
well.
I don't think it.
I
don't
could,
think
I
it's-
could, I could get in the cart, and I know what spells I have. It's fine. Don't worry about it, dear.
Quickly looks to see if Gentle Repose is on the cleric spell list.
I know.
Of course it is.
I'm not. Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. I can't make. Oh, that's a different spell, dear. It's fine. Memories. Not what it used to be.
Memory.
I think we should put that as a plan in the back pocket. If this
Mm.
doesn't, if the inspection doesn't go through, maybe. Solid maybe.
It's always good to have a backup plan. Although, if the first plan doesn't work, they're probably not going to believe us the second time we come around. Unless we don't look like us.
Well, but then if they're if they're not believing us, you can just like fall out dead right there.
That's true.
Oh! I could have been in contact. Okay, I'm prepared.
I'm still unclear as to how that gets us in, though, because I think the last thing that they'd want to do is let a dead body into the thing, especially if said dead body had been sick, because who knows, like, what the dead body is carrying. Like, you don't want to bring that into your warehouse.
Maybe you just leave me outside and say this is an example of what could happen. We need to inspect before more people drop dead in the street.
I like where this is going, Granny. Big fan.
I don't have to go inside. I'm sure you all can remember all of the details necessary to tell me everything when you return. And I am no longer dead.
I can just put you in the cart.
No, but this is the backup plan. Oh, after, yes. Just
This
be
is
careful.
after Granny falls down dead.
Right. My back is not what it used to be, Rava, so be very careful, dear.
There are a couple people looking at you kind of weird as y'all are just like talking about dead bodies going down the street.
Assume we're talking covertly in like Centaur.
Do centaurs even have their own language?
They speak Sylvan.
Yep.
We do speak Sylvan, yeah.
Oh, okay,
we do.
that's fair. That's fair. But four centaurs are
Forgot
still
about
not
that.
a common sight.
Oh. I'll wave at anybody that stares too long.
Little kid.
It's okay. Would you like a cookie, dear?
Mom told me not to talk to strangers.
That's good. That was a trick
Mom!
question. Trick question, and you passed.
Turns around.
Goodbye.
Granny, you
What?
have to stop. You have to stop offering cookies to everyone.
It's a test here. They need to say no to strangers.
That might be true. But maybe not.
Better me than a different stranger.
Oh, it's good. If she offers the cookies, it makes us look incompetent, and then nobody will suspect us. That's the whole point.
That was always my intention. Yes, thank you, Plumeria, for
Welcome,
pointing
Granny
out
May. I got your back.
This is
my
why Plumeria is always the
expertise.
favorite.
So,
That's why I usually
are
do
we?
the talking.
Are
what's the
we?
plan?
Are we approaching the door and trying to get into? I'll even pretend that I'm sick, and we need to investigate so that we can properly determine if my symptoms are aligning with what we find.
I feel like we'll save the sick
Okay,
because they
Is
may
it
not let
going-
us in.
that's
If they may-
fair.
I'm afraid of them not letting us in if you're sick.
That's fair, but I'm a little afraid if I just drop dead, if that doesn't work.
Well, Granny, this is a no offense to you because I
Yes.
love you,
Yes, of course, dear.
but you're Granny May for a reason. Your
What are
granny.
you saying? Are you calling me old, dear?
In the best way possible.
I'm very old, Ursa. You don't have to feel bad about saying that. I have many years under my belt.
So if you dropped dead, it's a distraction.
It would make sense, but I'm not.
It's a distraction.
Then maybe they need to put my body on the cart, and someone
Yeah.
runs
See,
to
this-
get.
This plan is just evolving. It's great.
It's getting better all the
It's
time.
getting so convoluted, and I love it.
Okay.
I don't even know what the original plan is. Okay,
Going
what are we
in,
doing?
That's two
going
of us,
in,
Mindy.
playing, going in, saying that we need to inspect the warehouses because people have been sick. We need to
We
make
think
sure that
it's
they're all
something
6
new
feet
out-
apart, wearing their
Yeah.
masks.
Because
Speaking
there's
of, we need to wear masks ourselves.
Oh yes. Oh, mask is good. I have masks. I have plenty. What kind? I've got like plague doctor masks. I've got those like masquerade ball masks. Those probably are not the masks you're talking about. I have
Plumeria, really simple, just cloth over the nose and mouth, especially over the nose.
Don't wear it as a chin strap.
I suppose I have something.
Don't
that
wear
I'll
it over your eyes. Don't wear it as a hat. Can you tell I teach middle school?
Only wear your dice trays as hats.
Or helmets. depending on what
Helmets.
kind
I
of
have
tray
a
you
helmet.
I have a helmet today.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Y'all are gonna
Yeah.
go up saying, "Hey, we've heard that people have been getting sick. We are here to inspect the warehouses."
Correct.
We're looking to
Make
see.
sure they're following guidelines.
We're looking to see if the things that they have been recently acquiring from the mines are causing some of these illnesses, and if so, what. I think we can say we are doing it on behalf of the legal team for the family, which I already forgot the name. I'm old. Goron. We can say that in that way we can do diligence for the family.
Just want to make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to.
Right.
We are the centaur for disease control.
Because here's the thing: if something's connected to this warehouse, the family's gonna get in trouble, and so we don't need that.
If they are suspicious
wants that.
if they get suspicious that we are going to, there's so many possibilities. Maybe we should just go talk to them and see what happens.
Yes,
I don't think. Yep, let's go.
I'm very good at talking.
I hope so. Which persona are you going to use this time?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, Frisia's sort of a nitwit, so I don't think we're going with Frisia.
No.
As y'all begin to approach the warehouses, all the guards perk up, and one of the guards that you're heading towards. You're trespassing. You're on private property. I'm gonna have to ask you to turn around, please, and head back to the public district.
I'm sorry. My name is Hyacinth Honeyblossom, and I'm here with the Centaur of Disease Control.
Have you ever heard of that whispering to the guard?
I would hope not.
I'm sorry.
Generally, nobody here.
Can we help
Generally,
you?
don't hear about. Yes, of course. You see, we're investigating claims that that there has been a recent spate of illnesses linked to some new material that's come out of the mine, and we wanted to make sure that everything was above board. We were sent by the legal team of the Goron family because if something got traced back to them, it would end poorly for them, and nobody wants that.
Well, you have to understand that security is very high, tip-top
Well, of
right now.
course.
Do you have paperwork from the Goron family? They do have.
I have.
Go ahead, Rava. What were you gonna say?
How many of them are there, and how close together are they?
The ones you're approaching. Which ones did you approach, by the way?
Second building.
Yeah, second.
Big bads, yeah.
The big ones are
The ones that looked a little sharper.
Yeah. I said the warehouses were probably like 100 feet by 100 feet, so like 100 feet away on both directions.
I don't.
Uh-huh.
I do have paperwork from the Center of Disease Control, however. I have here's the thing. Plumeria has very official paperwork as part of the charlatan background. I have all the documentation for the Center of Disease Control.
Beautiful.
Yes.
We didn't think about stopping to forge more documents, although I could have, but I definitely have the like official Hyacinth Honeyblossom, director of the Center of Disease Control.
But nothing from the Goron family.
Not specifically, no.
The two guards, one's a half-orc and one's an elf, both kind of like whisper to each other.
I mean, look, we can shut it down right now if you'd rather, but
One
frankly,
second.
I don't think any of us want that.
We're discussing. One moment. They're like whispering, and then the elf begins to take a step forward. Can I see the paperwork, please?
I show off my beautiful documents that say where we're from.
Yeah, he wants to like look at them. Roll a persuasion check, please.
Oh, come on, dice. Oh no.
Not one.
I mean, that makes it a 6, but
Sorry, but unless you have official paperwork from the Goron family, I can't let you in.
Well, you heard him, Granny May. They can't let us in. Shut it down.
And I will fall over. and pretend to be dead.
Sorry,
I imagine it's like, you know those, like when you push over a sleeping cow? That's what I imagine.
I was imagining one of those really dramatic, like, acting horses that fall over.
Okay, yeah, that. That's what happened.
oh well, this has become serious.
Roll.
Even just standing outside here is.
Please roll a performance or a deception check, Granny
Thank
May.
you.
I have advantage because I'm old.
This is
Sure.
going so well.
She
Sure.
threw out a hip for this. She threw out a hip.
I will give you advantage if everyone else gets in on this.
Oh, those were terrible rolls. 11
Oh no.
with advantage.
Wow. They are both looking at you, both with hands on their weapons. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to ask you to leave, or we're gonna have to forcefully move you.
I'm still laying on the ground. I'll like try to peek an eye open to see if I don't have mending. Or not mending message. I'll just put like open an eye and like.
We see you opening your eyes.
Rava, please take care of her. Please put her on the. Rava, please put her on the cart. You'll be hearing from our lawyers about this.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast thaumaturgy
You may.
and cause the ground to tremor?
Okay, what are you trying to do with this?
Scare them away from the door.
Good. If
Make
this,
them take cover for something.
What were you gonna say, Rava?
and if this doesn't work, can I cast fireball on the door?
Wait, how close are we to the door?
I'd say with your like within 20 feet.
This is going really well.
This is already so great.
Maybe not like up raised.
Like a warning fireball.
Enough to get them, but not us.
Sure.
I rolled this is what I rolled against your spell save DC, Kaila.
Oh, a solid one.
Solid.
Solid.
As the ground begins to tremor, they both look at each other in panic. Is that an avalanche? Shit. Shit. And they begin running towards the door.
They're running in?
They're running in, yeah. I should have not put my die near the camera. It's fine.
I would like to, as they run in, I imagine they go to close the door behind them. As soon as they close it, I want to cast Thaumaturgy and make it swing wide open so they don't have a chance to lock it.
That's easy. But they look back at you and they're like, shit, the door. There's got to be an avalanche. Come on.
Oh dear, that's very unfortunate. I'm
Rava
looking
would
around.
Granny May up
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. Yes.
Hooves before going inside, dragging the cart.
We're taking the cart inside?
It's a warehouse.
That's fair.
It's big enough.
All right.
Once y'all are in,
That's very kind of you to let us in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Where did they go?
they lock the door they close and lock the door when you're all in. There's an avalanche, would be okay in here, but we need you to stay here.
I've never seen an avalanche before.
It's not fun.
I want to cast sleep.
Roll
Aren't,
your d8s. Go ahead. What was that, Rava?
aren't we in the area?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Friendly fire.
Yep.
It goes from lowest to highest.
I'm just hoping the guards have lower hit points than any of us.
It'll be fine.
I don't know if that's going to be true.
It'll be fine. Everybody loves a good nap.
This is what happens when you don't read the whole spell.
You
It's
roll
fine.
5d8 and tell me what the total is.
Yeah.
I love that spell. It's so much fun.
It's a-
7, 11 is total.
For all 5d8.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
My bad. No, I'm rolling terrible. Wow, I know how to cast things. I don't usually play a sword
I was
wielding
like-
anything.
So you rolled. So it's a total of 11 out of the 5d8.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh
that's-
wow.
Yeah.
One of the guards falls over. The half elf, not the half elf, the elf looks over at Graddle. What happened? And he.
Oh, see, this is very serious. I am convinced that there is something going on in this warehouse, and if you
That-
don't let us take a look at it now, you're next.
Y'all. Roll with advantage another persuasion or deception.
Thank you. Ooh, that's much better. That's a 21.
He takes a deep breath. Fine. Take a look. Do not touch anything. You could be next.
Oh, it's good.
Well, no, see, we have our masks on, so we're not
Yes.
next.
But you're right. We should probably keep our hands to ourselves for now.
Mm-hmm, of course, naturally.
We don't want to end up like your friend there.
He has propped up his buddy against one of the crates.
Just make sure he stays hydrated. Keep him warm.
Probably best to let him
Important.
sleep for now, though.
And you have free reign of the warehouse. The warehouse is a two-story warehouse with a catwalk on the top. There are crates as well as just large piles of what looks to be raw ore. Not piles, but there's raw ore in crates. Where do you look? Or how do you look?
I squint really hard.
As an attempt to sort of look like that what we're looking for is, questionable questionable materials and things like that. I am going to be looking at in depth at every single one of those carts, and by in depth I mean I pull out some sort of thing that looks like a spell casting thing that looks fancy and doctory.
I would like to pull out, as I'm watching Plumeria try to really engage with this persona that we have taken on. I would like to get out some parchment and some
Good,
I
good.
would like
Take
to
notes.
take notes. Yes,
Mhm.
it's very important that we document things. Documentation is important.
I would like to cast guidance on Plumeria.
Oh, I'm not actually looking at anything. I mean, I am like vaguely looking, but I'm not anything that looks small or like it doesn't hold what we're looking for. I'm not actually looking at.
It's a cantrip. I could cast
I
it
know that's
for-
fair.
all I want.
Oh yay! Gotta keep up the pretense.
What about you, Ursa?
What's the lighting situation in the warehouse?
The dim.
Dim? Okay.
Yeah. There's sunlight coming in from the second story windows, and there are intermittently placed what kind of look like ever burning torches, so just magical light spaced out between, like, on the walls of the warehouse.
Okay, cool. While they're doing their act, I want to look around to see if there is anything other than just the buckets and crates of ore.
Mm-hmm.
There's like back hallways or anything like that that would lead to another part of the warehouse.
Hey, Ursa.
Yeah,
Are you looking for the real thing?
yeah.
Be quiet about it, but you know, and I am going to just sort of like lightly touch Ursa on the forehead and cast blessing of the trickster. So you now have advantage on stealth checks.
Oh boy.
Like 8 hours.
For
Yeah,
it's like an
ridiculous.
hour.
Yeah, it's pretty long. I love it.
It's an hour. Report back as soon as you can.
We'll do what I can.
Are y'all splitting? Or what y'all doing?
Sounds like I'm going alone.
I kind of want to, yeah, I feel like Plumeria, being as sort of ostentatious as she is going to stay as much within eyesight of the guards as possible, distracting
Sure.
with colors.
I'll transfer the guidance to Ursa.
All right. Ursa, I'm gonna need you to make a couple checks. I need you to make either a perception or investigation check and then a stealth check. In that order.
Well, that's a nat 20.
For your investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about your stealth check?
Advantage.
And you can add a +4 if you want. Or plus 1d4.
That's also a nat 20.
Holy shit.
These dice are rolling hot tonight.
Nice. Ursa, as you begin looking around and through these crates that are filled with ore and more or less like crappy gemstones, like gemstones that are listed as like 10 GP in the DMG, so like malachite and azure and stuff like that, you realize that there is an organizational system to how this warehouse is laid out. It's mostly just based off of symbols on the floor, and like what direction like stuff is. So there's like a gold circle, like with an arrow going in certain directions, and you're like, oh, that's gold ore. There's like a gray circle. Oh, that's where the silver ore is, and then like triangles for like crappy gemstones. But there's a symbol that you see that does not match those, and it is a square with a circle in it. And if you follow that, there is what looks to be a locked room towards the middle right of the warehouse. It's probably like a 20 by 20 foot room.
I think I have anything to help you get into it. I don't have lockpicking tools. Can I pick it with a paintbrush? Because I have painter's kit.
You can, but you'll have disadvantage.
Imagine the painter picking the painter kit.
What?
What?
You can try, but it would be disadvantage.
You know,
Hydrate.
why not? Why not try it?
You have an extra D4.
I thought it was consumed once you use it, though.
It is.
Haven't used
It's
it.
only once.
It's once, but you
Right,
get
because right.
Oh,
I
she
should-
hasn't.
I haven't used it.
But this probably would have taken longer than a minute.
Hmm.
To be fair.
well, she kept coming back for it.
Would I add sleight of hand to that?
Yeah, sleight of hand.
13.
You do hear some of the gears inside of the lock click, but your paintbrush breaks.
Okay.
It was not made for this.
I go back and join the party. And I relay what I found to them. Very hushed toned, just, I think I found where this might be. But the door is locked and I cannot get in.
Yep, that tracks.
While Ursa was gone and y'all were doing your inspection, the elf has been was taking the half work guard's temperature, and he's eventually woken up because sleep only lasts a minute. And he's just drink your water. You've passed out. I don't know what happened. The centaurs for disease control are looking around. Oh, I haven't heard any other avalanche stuff, so I think we're gonna be okay. Stuff like that.
Do any of us notice this going on?
Yeah, they're not being covert about it.
It's about, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and cause another earth trouble in their general vicinity.
Did we
I
all
would-
take thaumaturgy?
We did. I would like to cast thaumaturgy and make it sound like things are happening outside.
They curse. Shit.
I think it's best if we all took cover and hid away from this big open warehouse. Maybe there's a back room we could go to.
That is what you're supposed to do. Go to the innermost part of the building.
Nope, you're right.
There a place we could go.
Yes, the centermost part of the building points in that direction. The elf helps up his buddy and begins leading the way to the center of the warehouse. If you want to come this way, do your inspection. We'll be in the center.
Perfect. Well, we haven't made it this far, so this is at least we can get some work done.
I think at this point, Rava would leave behind the cart and then
Okay.
leave the ropes in such position as being able to grab them later
That's fair.
in a hurry.
So are we going back
Or should I-
towards where Ursa went the first time?
They're leading you directly into the center of the warehouse. Where Ursa found it was in the middle, but against the far right wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, their backs are to you, and they're just leading you towards the center of the warehouse. One's supporting the other that passed out. Passed out.
Can someone try to steal their keys?
I mean, there's no other guards have come to join us, right?
It's just the two.
I mean,
I don't think thaumaturgy will reach the other guards.
but they didn't come running over to inspect.
You can't tell because the door was locked. No one.
Oh, we locked the door. That's right.
They locked the door.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, we could. I mean,
I've heard a phrase. Little bunny foo-foo bopping all the field mice. What if they were the field mice and we were bunny foo-foo?
I like this backup plan. We are trying to not be obvious about this.
What's more obvious than 4 centaurs?
But
Right.
Okay, but their backs are to us. It's really easy at this point. Rava, do the thing.
Have a war. I don't know if. Well, actually, bonus action is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
I can do that. I can
Mm-hmm.
attack on a bonus action as well, so I can make attack rolls.
Their backs are to you.
Okay, I'm going to just walk straight up.
While their backs are to while their backs are also to this before, as Rava is about to go up to them, I'll blind the one who we didn't already take out with sleep.
Like, as in the blindness, deafness spell?
Mm-hmm.
What's, I do have the save DC. Hold on. What kind of save is it, please?
That is a Constitution save.
What are stats?
Which for when as Plumeria casts this, it's sort of it's for her casting spells tends to be like rummaging around in her pockets and pulling out some sort of like dust or some sort of like small liquid that just it is like brightly colored or looks like glitter and just sort of and does that.
The one that did not fall asleep was the elf earlier. And he, all of a sudden as you do this, he's like, shit, now it's got me. What the heck is this disease? Make your...
What are your symptoms?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Rava, make your attack rolls. You have advantage on the one that's blinded.
Okay.
And check, well, and it's a surprise round, so roll advantage on your attacks.
So that was the first one was a natural 1 followed by a natural 20.
Whew.
And that'll be against the...
With advantage?
Yeah, that was the advantage roll.
Oh my god, love it.
one.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
And then that's a 23 on the half-orc.
What's the damage? And are you doing lethal or non-lethal?
I'm going to go with non-lethal.
Okay, that's fair.
So that'll be... That's 13 against the elf.
Mm-hmm. Beefy
Yeah.
friend.
Yes, and 10 against the half-orc.
Both collapse under your warhammer.
So a headache is one of the symptoms of this disease. Good to know.
Blindness, fainting, extreme migraines in the back region of the head,
Beautiful.
keys.
Yeah, no keys.
Rava starts looking for keys.
There's keys. Along with 20 gold. A nice wineskin that they probably shouldn't have on the job.
Ooh, is that a wineskin?
Yeah.
Sure.
No
Oh, we're
drinking
taking
on the
that.
job.
I know, that's terrible. It's against OSHA standards. Just purloin van.
Can you remind me what OSHA stands for again, Plumeria?
Where's that door?
It is too. You're right.
Oh, what do you know?
Overly safe horse adventurers.
I lead them to the door that I had found earlier.
I'm assuming you try the keys.
Yes.
The keys
might-
work.
I might have
Yay.
a painting kit too.
The keys work.
My broken paintbrush, like next to the door. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, fucking
I'll
hell.
pick it up. I'll cast mending. Do I know it's yours
I don't know.
at this point? Well, I got a
I just-
paintbrush out of this. Oh.
Grab
Dear,
it
you
from
have
you.
to take better care of your things. They won't last forever if you don't treat them with respect and kindness.
Thank you, Granny May.
You're welcome.
Everything's disposable. It's
Everything's disposable.
But you say everything, and sometimes I think you mean everyone.
I was about
But
to say, people?
I don't know what you're
Plumeria,
Take-
you are lovely, darling. Let's go in the room.
all right.
The room that you enter is about 20 feet by 20 feet wide. And there's a couple things in this room. There are three suits of armor, sorry, not three, four suits of armor along with decorative swords on the walls, like each one of the four walls. There is, in the very center of the room, are three things. The first one is a statue, which kind of looks like, it's probably about, dwarf-sized. And it's of a dwarf with a raven on his shoulder. Maybe it's one of the Goron family members, who knows. Underneath the statue, there is a rug. It's pretty fancy looking, it's pretty ornate. And also on top of the rug is this large crystal that looks like what a sheriff showed you. It is black and it has these multicolored facets and sparklies on the inside. You would all need to pick it up to get it on the cart.
Oh
Wow.
dear.
This
Wait,
was
wait.
easy.
Everyone? Don't touch it. Yet. Can I make sure there's no traps engaged with it?
I want you to roll. What kind of traps are you looking for?
Anything that would be triggered by the shifting of weight.
Roll an investigation check.
That's an 8.
You don't see anything. The ground is pretty barren. It's just a wood floor underneath this rug.
All right. Does anyone want to grab, one corner of the rug and we heave-ho it?
Oh my.
I suppose.
Or do we want to go get the cart?
Will the cart fit all the way back here?
Yeah, it's kind of like a double door leading into this room, so you could fit the cart.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. I'll push it backwards into it. Into
Like
the
back it in.
Sure.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Hey, Granny May, if you want to guide it, we'll do most of the heavy lifting.
Oh, that's I. What are you insinuating, Ursa?
I don't want you to throw out your back.
I'm very old. This is wise.
I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be pushing or pulling either because, like, my hooves are a little weak.
Oh, you don't get a pass.
Oh, dang it.
I'll try to help.
Yeah, you can help guide it onto the cart.
I'll go to pick up a corner.
I'll cast guidance on Granny May.
Okay, I'm going to feed it.
So you back this cart into this room, kind of essentially cutting the room in half, because you got the cart backed into the room, and then you have, like, the stuff that you're loading into it. And as soon as y'all's hands touch the stone, the swords fly off the wall and the armor starts moving.
Naturally, of
And-
course.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously.
And the rug also starts moving.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh,
So I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Sure. Great.
This initiative
Ooh.
That's a 14.
You know it's good when the rug starts moving.
to the initiative.
Oh, wait. So do I get guidance on that initiative roll?
It is an ability check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
13.
I rolled. It's a 24.
Holy crap, Granny.
I rolled high and then I rolled well with my guidance.
And Rava, what'd you get?
26.
Okay,
Ooh.
thank God. I'm just glad I
Those are
wasn't
some
first.
high cleric initiatives, y'all.
I rolled a 19. My initiative is just +1.
I'm
+2.
mine's +6 because I took a feat.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Calm down now.
Surprised by this series of events.
So, Rava, unsurprisingly, you are first. There is basically a sword and armor in each corner of the room.
How large is the room?
20 feet by 20 feet. But you would have to go around if you want to go to the other side of the room because the cart is in the way, unless you want to jump over it.
I don't like cramped spaces. That makes this. I'm now regretting pulling the cart in here. Let me bring up a calculator really quick. Need to remember what this number is. Yeah, I got 600 feet of rope. I can carry it myself. I would like to cast Fireball at the center of the room. And I would like to use my divine guidance, whatever that feature is called, to maximize the fire damage. The saving throw is 10.
That, yeah, last time I checked, it's a 15 or 20 foot radius for Fireball.
It is a 50-foot radius. No, it's 20-foot radius sphere.
So we all need to make the save.
Everybody needs to make the save.
Dex.
Yeah, it's a dex save with a DC of 10.
Oh, that's 11.
12.
11.
We're still gonna take half damage.
Yeah, you're still going to take. What is that?
lot.
Divided by 24 fire damage.
That's half.
That's
half?
half.
That's half.
Are you serious?
Rob-
Cool.
It's called Fire Main for a reason.
This
Not
probably
just the
would not
hair.
surprise you.
Yeah, this event probably happens at least a couple of times a week.
Rava, we have talked about this. We do not set fireball in enclosed spaces.
There's going to be a lot of smoke, dear.
Granny is old
I'm
and
being
can't handle it.
We're on fire. Oh dear, Ursa.
Oh, hold up, shit.
My-
your
my-
mane is on fire.
My cutie mark's like singed.
I'm sorry, one more time. What is the full damage?
48.
Jiminy
Um,
Christmas.
Wow, holy shit. And half of that is 24. Tell me how you take out the swords, the armor, and the rug.
I think that the rug
Super
goes
flammable.
just instantly kind of just goes from, you know, a colored rug to a black cloud of ash and then dissolves. And then I imagine the armor and the animated swords all melt and fly against their respective corners.
So, what happens is what you described. The armor, the swords, and the rug are warped and just destroyed. But you also hear like a fourth screech come from the statue. And it looks burned and it kind of moves a little bit. And we'll take a break there and we'll get back to that when we get back. So everyone please
my gosh.
stretch, pet your pets for me, drink some water. I was not expecting a fucking fireball in the middle of an enclosed space. Oh, that cart is on fire. I gotta,
Oh no.
Oh god.
yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. It's a good thing you're four four-legged centaurs,
So
right?
very strong.
Yup.
And we'll be back. So see you in like 5 to 10 minutes. Hello, we are back from our break. I hope everybody had water, pets, petting their pets, etc., etc. We return to the scene of Rava, our Zeal Domain centaur, casting fireball in an enclosed room
And then maximizing the damage.
and maximizing the damage. Basically, taking out 3/4 of their opponents and also their allies. Almost.
Yes. And they will now, having heard the statue moan, leap towards it over the cart. And
Wait.
while they're,
Make an athletics check to leap over said cart, please.
can it be an acrobatics?
Rava, you know you're not getting paid for this because of the damage, right?
You act like I ever get paid. At
Good
least
point, you don't. But I'm docking it.
You may.
I don't think you can make him pay for a heist that he's helped on.
Watch me.
19.
Yeah, you could easily jump and leap over this cart standing in front of this statue who is making pained noises.
Towards it. And I'm going to, as I'm moving along, I'm going to shout, "Behold!" And I'm going to cast Healing Word on Plumeria.
There you go. Roll the hit points.
It's
I think it's just the D4
yeah, I think it's just a D4.
for you. With your what was how much wisdom you got again? Mr.
My
Cleric?
wit mod -1.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
s- 1 whole hit point.
One whole hit point. It's
It's thought
fine.
that
It's the thought that counts.
We're gonna have to relook at your contract there, Rava.
Granny May. What's going through your head?
So, how far away is every? It was a 20 by 20 room. Where is the statue in relation to us? The major. Well, I guess not Rava. Rava's off doing Rava things. Where is the statue in relation to me?
Were you on the same side or opposite side of the cart as Rava?
I've had to probably be on the same side so he could like pick up the slack.
You would have to go either jump over the cart or go around the crystal to get to it in touching distance.
How
Which you
far-
can do. You can do it with your movement speed. It's not difficult. Also, Rava, make me a dexterity saving throw.
4.
Yeah, you take 10 damage as you jump over the flaming cart.
Ah.
Oh, well, you know,
I've-
there's. I'm just double checking I know how spells work. It's fine.
Which
Okay, I would like to hobble my way around so I can see the creature, and I'm going to say, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, that's not going to work." And I would like to kind of like reach for something that looks like I'm reaching over the creature's head, and I'm going to clasp my hand and drag it down, and I'm going to guiding bolt it. And this is it's a flash of light, but it is almost like a dark purple in nature. And hopefully it'll hit. Okay. Oh god, how do spells work? Oh god.
Spellcasting ability modifier proficiency plus wisdom
Okay. So
plus your roll.
Oh. Wait, should it be that high? That seems really high.
What's your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is 4. So it
4?
should be plus 7 total, right?
Yep, plus 7.
Oh my god. Okay, 22.
Oh, yeah, you hit it.
Okay, then I will do the damages. Okay, that's double 6, and then... Oh, that's not as good. Okay, so... I don't know how to add. 9 plus 12 is 21. 20 points of radiant damage. And as it strikes, it almost looks like that sounds so weird, but it's almost like black lightning, like little sparks of black energy. It is not radiant damage you would expect to see, but that will be, and the next attack has advantage. That will be my turn.
Ursa.
I'm just a little in shock at what I've just witnessed.
Are
Just
you
like-
though?
Only slightly. I've only seen it like once before. Just once. I do want to cast Mass Healing Word on the allied party.
Fair. What's the word?
Gonna be O-Stars. It's going to be 5 hit points to everyone. It's not much,
It's something.
but it's something. Maybe Plumeria won't be as rough looking.
Are you doing anything with your Your action?
Um. I think Granny May's got it under control. I'm just gonna make sure the crystal's not damaged in any way.
Do you want to inspect it?
Yes, please.
Roll a an Arcana check, please, or investigation.
That's a natural 20.
It is definitely, the color has changed a bit from the heat. It has darkened, and there is definitely, as the smoke is going into the air, there's a little bit of dust and, you know, soot and crap because there was a fireball just exploded in here.
I like take my sleeve and just try to wipe it off.
Yeah, you think, no, you got a natural 20. It'll be functional. It doesn't look like it was,
Okay.
it's dirty, and
We'll just-
it looks gross. But
We'll just hose it
functional.
down or roll it around in the snow a little bit before we give it to him. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Great. Rava almost damaged the thing we were coming in here for. Cool. Great.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
No, it's fine. No, it's good. We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
Mhm.
Plumeria.
Yep.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
What kind of creature is the statue?
Roll a.
Is it? I'm not. I'm at. Is it? Here, I will rephrase my question. Is it a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead?
Roll an Arcana check.
It's a natural 20.
It is. You've heard of this creature before. You realize that this is an acrylic, which is essentially a type of mimic.
What kind? What's that? Oh God. Oh.
These.
Wait. But, okay.
It's a monstrosity.
Dang it. Okay.
Shape changer. They tend to disguise themselves as art objects.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was not what I was trying to get out of that roll, but you're welcome, everybody. Oh my God. It's fine. This is fine. It's going great. This is going so.
This is fine.
Cool.
Plumeria,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
how you doing?
You know, not great. Real not great, actually. I mean, I'm like at half now. So if it looks at all like Granny May's got things under control, Rava's off checking out something else, and Plumeria is going to be very selfish and just cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Fair. Fair.
This is like a little a bottle of like brightly colored shimmery water, sort of like Vink. It's not a potion. It's how she casts her spell on herself. That's 2d8. And then I think for my bonus action, and then I didn't think about a bonus action. I always forget about that. Can I do that? Is that? Nope, that's an action. Never mind. Ooh, what are you? Oh, okay. Nope. I think that's gonna be it for the moment.
Beautiful. So, if I remember correctly, Rava, you jumped in front of this thing and then cast Healing Word, right? And then Granny May, how close did you get to it when you cast Guiding Bolt?
I just kind of poked my head around so I could see it.
That's fair. Rava, you're right in front of it. It kind of like the middle of this statue kind of like opens up to reveal a mouth with lots of pointy teeth and
Amazing.
just tries to like chomp on you. But I don't know what monstrosities are made of, but it looks like it's made out of marble. But it is not getting a hold of you. And then it's back to Rava.
That'll be my high armor class coming in to save my neck.
Or, I rolled a 9.
Oh yeah, half my armor class. Yeah. So I'm gonna, as a bonus action, because it's a bonus action spell to do so, I believe, cast Searing Smite.
Yep, that's a bonus spell.
And then I'm gonna hit it with the hammer.
Hit it hard.
I'm gonna try to. The
You
hammer.
have advantage.
And you have
Oh,
advantage.
yes, I have advantage.
Because it's sparkling with this dark purplish color.
That'll be an 18 total.
Yeah.
Cool.
Painful.
Remember what Searing Smite's damage is. And then I can... it's just 1d6 at first level. I don't need to cast it higher than that. That'll be 2 points of bludgeoning damage and... Or, no. Plus 3. 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of fire damage to it.
Several chunks of marble fly off from it. It is missing an arm now from its marble-esque form. Miss Granny. Granny May.
Sorry, I know how to play D&D. I know.
Practice.
Distance of 15 feet. Oh, well, that seems nice. I would like to, how's this thing looking right now?
Hurt. Bloody.
Hurt.
But there's no blood, quote unquote. But
it's looking rough.
Yeah, it's missing chunks of marble, and it's definitely missing at least one arm. The bird that's kind of like carved onto its shoulder is laying on the floor.
Oh, okay, so like Rava's got this, right? Do I hear anything else coming? Do I feel like once we take care of this terrifying little creature that just tried to eat him?
Through the flames and the crackling of the wood of the flames, you can't really tell at the moment.
Sure. Okay. Well, you know, I'm just gonna... It's fine. I'm gonna, It's designated. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I can designate unaffected. I would like to start looking around, and I would just like to start drawing my fingers in the air in little like designs that don't really mean anything. And after a moment, there'll be a little flash of that same purple light, where it kind of illuminates all the little... They're not runes, it's just like little doodles. And almost as if, unlike, and I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians, but I would like to flavor it as these things start moving around, but that they don't look like creatures. They almost look like, when you look at them, they look like little like tears in reality that lead to a void. And they're just fluttering around me, and I'm, oh, look, it's all my friends, they're back. And I don't actually know what this spell does. 15 feet.
On its turn, it'll make a save and take damage.
It's a wisdom save. Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Mango plays a lot of clerics, I have to know.
I haven't played an actual... I have cleric, but I don't... I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna play cleric. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't play combat cleric.
Anything else?
I think that'll be my turn.
Ursa.
After I've made sure the crystal and everything is safe, I see the creature try to take a bite out of Rava. I want to cast Moonbeam. It's a Constitution.
Constitution, is it on their turn or when you cast it?
It's when the creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a start
of their turn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taking hits from both sides. Plumeria, you see this creature suddenly surrounded by these purpley doodads from Granny May and a lovely moonbeam from Ursa. You're muted. We love you.
Thank you. Sorry. Cool. Things are going well, clearly. I was hoping they'd be taking. I was hoping that this would be all taken care of by now. So, fine. But since it's not, I will sort of. Plumeria throws up like a handful of dust that coalesces into a. It's sort of like a juggler's club, basically, over the statue, and cast spiritual weapon to hit it.
So, Granny May, Plumeria, and Ursa, how do you like all joint destroy this thing? Because I don't think between the three of you it can survive.
Sir. My little creatures, it's like they run into him, this creature monstrosity thing, and it's like, it almost looks like, if you look really close, it's almost like they're like opening their mouths and trying to take bites before they disappear.
I don't like that.
Well, I'm from the void.
Love it. Did either of you want to flavor this before?
Oh yeah, the club sort of is like, there's a little sort of tinkling sound with the club, like it's got bells attached to it, and it sort of ducks in and out of the void and the stars to like smack it upside the head.
Yeah, the silvery light just kind of starts to disintegrate it just a little bit at the marble.
And with its onslaught from all sides, essentially, not to mention taking that massive hit before from the fireball, it just crumples and breaks to the ground. The crackling is loud in all of your ears once these adversaries are taken care of. And now that there's no more, I like to imagine little screeches from the void as and the fire from the cart. Granny May and Plumeria, the two of you can hear with your passive perceptions, yelling from outside and banging on the locked door. You also have this burning cart in front of you.
Create or destroy water to create a bunch of water to pour on the cart.
Solid prepare.
The water you prepare splashes all over the cart.
I imagine you have that prepared because you frequently just light things on fire.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I imagine at one point we were like, you have to have that. It's not an option anymore.
Signed a waiver.
We're not traveling together. That's the deal, Rava.
At this point, I would highly recommend that we load the cart.
Okay.
The burning cart. Okay.
No, it's not.
Perfect.
No, it's just
The
I'll just cast a little bit
Burnt.
of mending.
Sorry, burnt. Right.
You know all that mending you did at the very beginning of the game?
Yeah.
It's worse than it was.
Well, at least we had done mending before. It could be even worse.
I also have mending, so I will also help Granny May try to somewhat save this.
Guess it's up.
Plumeria also has mending.
Oh
However,
my god, I love all of you.
Ding.
however, as they are knocking on the door, Plumeria will be trying to. I'm sorry, we can't open the door. We think we have found the source of disease. Please hold.
They're
We're
like
taking care of it now.
yelling across the warehouse.
Yep. Well,
As
'cause
you do.
It's the locked door. We're in the locked room inside the warehouse. Is
Yeah,
that-
there's like a room inside the warehouse. So like you're over here and the front door's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You'd have to yell across the warehouse. You hear like
I
just
have
banging.
thaumaturgy. I can make that echo.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There's like a slight pause, and then they keep banging on the door trying to get in.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I mean, are they being very loud and obnoxious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even after Plumeria asked them for a few moments.
If you value your lives, you'd get away quickly.
Yeah, I love
Are they still doing it?
Roll hey. I feel like this would be an intimidation check because it sounds like you're threatening them.
Deception, though.
Oh,
You can roll both and take the average. How about that?
Okay. Hold on. I have a oops. I have this delightful feat that I definitely took that I definitely remembered that I had taken. Called Lucky. Well, seriously? Okay. Well, let's see. You wanted the intimidation?
You were kind of like, if you value your life, you will step away.
I was thinking it was more of a like, please stay back if you value your lives, but that's fine. That's a 12.
There is a slight pause. You don't know what they're doing because they're on the other side of the warehouse, but
Great. Perfect.
But you don't know what's going on out there.
That's the only exit, right?
You don't know.
Oh, that's the other. That's not.
That's like the
that's
front
not-
door.
Front door.
Yeah, the front door.
Oh. It's going to be very difficult to get out.
We can some more.
Maybe we.
What was that,
Rava,
Rava?
Rava will say, "We can cause more avalanches,"
Nope.
and starts throwing rope over the crystal.
Yeah.
Did we get it into the cart?
You can.
That's- To try to do.
Okay.
If you all like took like a corner, it's not a square crystal, but if you all took a corner, you can like lift it up onto the cart.
Okay. Okay, all right. Here we go.
Rava is probably doing the lion's share of the work.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
gonna make y'all roll for this. It's just
Thank
more
you.
like a time thing, but you can get it into
Sure,
the
sure.
cart. And with 600 fucking feet of rope, holy crap.
It's real secure.
Yeah, it's real.
It's not going
secure.
anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Really quickly, before we leave, can I grab like a barrel or two of gold ore?
You can.
Just strap them to my sides. All right, let's go.
Like a small barrel. Gold's fucking heavy, but I think if I recall correctly, you're strong as hell. So
Yes, I am.
you can take some gold. You may. I'll say it's 200 GP worth. There's your payment.
Nice. Are we ready to go?
What's up? Are we? I would like to look for another exit if we could maybe find like a back door. You know, they don't sound very happy.
I mean, the building is burning down around us.
Oh,
At least this area.
Well, I'm sure it's fine. I would like to find another exit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I admit I can make people believe a lot of things, but
there's
I'm not
no
sure
hiding
how.
this.
Yeah. No.
We could.
If we can find a second door, I could put another sparky boom.
No. That's fine. You don't have to do
You
that.
had your sparky boom for the day, dear. You're not allowed to have more than one unless it's a special occasion. This is not a special occasion, Rava. We've talked about this.
Blessed.
Can we find another exit or try? Maybe.
Roll an investigation or perception check to
have a-
quickly. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. While she's doing that, I have a question. What do we know about the shrews?
Basically, what I told Ursa earlier.
Like, do we know if there's like a symbol or like a calling card of some sorts for the shrews?
Their quote-unquote calling card is explosions. The
Qualify.
We've alerted everybody.
basically they have a shrew as just like a symbol.
Cool.
I rolled a 15 for perception.
Yes, there is a second set of doors at the back of the warehouse.
Oh, no, not gonna sneeze. There's just a lot of smoke. There's one back over there. That might be a better bet.
Good work, Granny.
Gonna start hauling. The front. Would you estimate that there are people within, say, a 20-foot radius of the front door on the outside?
Probably, you can't tell. Actually, no, they've started banging on the door again. So yes.
Okay.
I mean, it'll create a hell of a distraction.
I feel like if we leave, the fire that's happening in here will also be a lovely distraction. But also that might I mean, the door's locked. But
We have the keys.
we do have the keys.
Keys to someone more responsible.
I will take the keys.
It's Granny. Good call.
Well,
What are you doing, Rava?
I'm getting ready. I'm attaching the cart to myself with ropes in various positions, getting ready to make a mad dash. I'm gonna
Yep.
save at least one third-level spell slot to cast haste.
Okay. And there is the back door.
Mhm.
The door. What was that?
does it sound like anybody's outside?
The back door.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
18.
Yeah, you hear scrambling, but not like aggressive like the front
Oh.
door. But it seems like they're moving away.
Oh, okay. There are people on the other side of this door, but they don't seem to be doing what they're doing. So, maybe
Well.
don't blow them up immediately, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you leave?
That sounds like a good plan.
Do you open the door for me?
I will open the door, yes.
You open the door,
Oh.
and these warehouses are kind of like their backs. It's basically warehouse, but it's just a back door to get more material into. So got a warehouse here, and you got like another warehouse on the other side. Rava, you don't notice this. And what do you do once you get out?
I'm getting ready to cast haste on myself to start sprinting.
Yeah. You don't see anything, but everyone else notices this as you follow Rava outside the door. You do notice a couple gnomes, halflings, you're not sure, scurrying away immediately in that direction. You also notice lit fuses along the warehouse, along with kind of bundles along the backside of the warehouse.
Oh dear,
Cool.
we should go very quickly now.
Yeah, like real quick, real fast. Thanks.
Casts haste on self and starts moving away.
Follow the. I'm going to follow the halfling. Gnome.
Wait, who are
friends.
you? Who are you? Rava, where are you going? Which direction?
Away from the city. Trying to get to a reasonable distance and then start making the way to the gates.
Okay. You'll need to at least get back to either the main street or maybe side streets. Are you following the halflings, the gnomes, or are you following Rava? And are you following those people, Rava?
Didn't see them, doesn't know they're there.
That's a good
Just
point.
trying to make way fast as possible.
I'm gonna
As we're-
follow Rava.
As we're going through the group, as we move forward, I will take out like a sort of like dark navy scarf and sort of fling it up in the air in elaborate fashion and cast Pass Without Trace on those who are, well, centered on me, but around
It's a group.
the group, as long as they're within 30 feet of me.
Might want to tell Rava.
Feet of movement. I'm already gone.
Yeah,
I
Rava's
know.
gone. Bye.
They have haste. They're moving quick. They're not
They're-
moving stealthy anyway.
They're going. They're charging. As y'all follow Rava, Rava's gone. But you do begin to hear a chain reaction of explosions behind you. I'm gonna need the three of you, probably not Rava, to make dexterity saving throws.
That's a 3.
16.
14.
Granny May and Plumeria, you both take 4 damage, but Ursa, you take 8.
Okay.
As you are singed and hit on your flanks with shrapnel of wood from the warehouses that
Very rude.
yeah.
Hail to flick it at it.
Rava, you are ahead of your group. How are you trying to find your way out of the city? Have you ever been here before? How well do you know Falkirk?
I know the road that we came in by, and nothing beyond that. I'm trying to find the
Good.
way to the main street, and then down it. If I can find the main street before the first minute has passed, I will be good.
I want you to roll an intelligence check to navigate, please. With all the smoke going in the air and the commotion starting to arise from one of your fireball, and two, the explosions that you do hear behind you, because even with your 9 passive perception, there's no way you're not hearing that.
Yeah. That's a total of 16.
Yeah, you can, within the minute of your haste spell, find the main road that you came in on.
Especially with that 800 feet of movement in 1 minute.
Jeez. Granny May, Plumeria, and Ursa, how are you navigating the city now that your cart, what you came to get is gone, as well as Rava?
Looking for a trail of soot that
Soot and hoof
left
marks.
by the yes, yeah, essentially,
And
That's-
marks from the sled.
yes.
Oh, that's true.
I'm trying to yes.
Roll with advantage an appropriate check, so either investigation, perception, survival, something along those lines.
He is so fired.
16 for
18
perception.
for survival.
Yeah. Yeah, Rava's not being stealthy.
Perfect.
At least you're able to get back to the main road, but the main road does also have footprints and sled marks from other things. Common sense dictates that they're trying to take the most direct way out, though you cannot see him. You all hear shouting though, as law enforcement is starting to make their way towards the scene of the crimes, plural.
What?
Make stealth checks, the three of you.
Plus 10, y'all.
With that pass without trace, yes.
Yeah, Rava, I
21.
want to say some kind of check to like make yourself look. Are you even trying to be inconspicuous?
Who, me?
Yeah, when you're
Uh,
running.
Once I get to the main street, probably.
I want you to roll some kind of
Performance.
It's either a performance or charisma based like check, whether it's stealth with charisma, just to like, hey, nothing's going on here. I'm just going on a walk, bringing my wares somewhere.
24.
Okay. No one looks you in the eye. They're all focused on, smoke from the buildings.
And
What
the
is-
sounds of explosions.
Yeah. And the sound of explosions. Granny May, Plumeria, and Ursa. What'd y'all get?
26.
21.
32.
Lovely. The three of you are able to avoid notice as people run past you wanting to see what the commotion is near the Goran family warehouses. You see the smoke floating into the air and the snow that has been lightly falling this entire time is gray from the soot and smoke. And it's slowly coating the area. I'll say you do eventually catch up with Rava. And how long does your spell last, please?
Pass without trace?
Yes.
Pass without trace will last up to an hour.
Okay. Where are you meeting? And also,
Beyond the gates?
We didn't designate a place because we didn't anticipate splitting up.
I
but-
also need to know if you covered the crystal with anything on the cart.
I was going to, and then
100 feet of rope.
Aside from the rope, we didn't.
No. Mm-hmm.
Should look like a barrel, a hay bale of rope.
600 feet is a lot of rope.
what a rope.
There's a lot of rope.
So much rope. I can't. I will say it's easy. Do you stop at all, Rava, at all to wait for them?
Now I just go out beyond the gates, generally speaking, aiming for the place where we met the person prior.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to make a couple more checks because this district is on the northern edge of the city, and you need to traverse probably like 3/4 of the city to get to the gates.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to. Let me look at my notes. 1 second. 1.
Is it okay if I guidance myself for all of them?
Sure. You may. I'm gonna need you to make 4 checks, please. What you did before.
So that'll be a 16.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. That was... If it's the same kind of roll, then that would be +5.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be 21.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
$13.
What was that one?
13.
Okay.
And another 25.
Okay. Plumeria, Granny May, and Ursa. Are you making your way towards the front gate?
If that's where we think Rava went, then I would imagine. I would imagine we're continuing to try not to draw too much attention to ourselves, but yes. I still have the keys to that warehouse, so I will probably try to ditch those somewhere.
How do you ditch these?
Are there any children around?
There are.
Cookies for sale! Cookies for sale!
honey, we have food at home.
Oh. It's only a copper for a cookie.
But Mom, I want to spend my allowance on cookies. It's only a copper. Can I borrow a copper?
Granny May makes the best cookies in town.
That she does.
The young woman, with their kid just looks at you and sighs. Roll a persuasion check, Mindy.
Can I just state there were also 3 centaurs covered in soot and singe? Trying to sell.
You're right. Good point. Roll a disadvantage.
So am I okay? So persuasion though, right?
Yeah.
Dang it! That was a nat 20, but okay, 17.
They're gonna say nat 1 and they'll be like, I'm so sorry.
The mother with the kid, like, kind of behind her legs, like, here, is it copper? Here's a silver to go get yourself cleaned up at the baths.
Oh,
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Yeah, there's a bathhouse that direction.
oh, don't mind us. Granny just had a
Just-
little bit of a basic accident. Not with these cookies, but our oven seems...
I bake a
Yes.
lot of things.
She does. And the oven got overworked and it sort of blew soot everywhere. It's which is
I'm gonna
part of
try.
why she's selling the cookies is to raise money for a new oven because
is
it's
it?
really how we make our living.
What is this kid wearing? Can I try to like dip the keys in his pocket
The kid is wearing,
or his hood?
the equivalent, the medieval equivalent of a snowsuit. So a lot of cloth, bundled up super warm with a hat
Oh,
and
perfect.
mittens.
So if I like put something in his pocket, he's not gonna feel it at all. It's gonna be great.
The mother is also there, so you're gonna have to roll a sleight of hand.
Well, in the meantime, Plumeria is explaining the whole baking accident story to the mother about why they look the way that they do
All right, you can roll
as a
with
distraction
advantage.
tactic.
Oh, I'm so good at this. 15?
The kid does not seem to notice as it takes. Mom, the mommies look so good. Mom, this is like the best day ever. I've never seen so many centaurs in the city, but these I actually got to see because the other one was riding so fast with their cart.
Oh.
Did you see what direction they went?
That way.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh.
We're playing hide and seek with him.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, this isn't cheating. You're just helping. Thanks. You're like super nice.
Mother ushers their child away.
Have a great day. Enjoy the cookies.
You do notice the mother take the cookie away.
It's alright, they took the keys too. Let's go. Poor kid.
I'm never gonna trust centaurs ever again.
That's
We're not coming back to this town.
I was about to say. That seems like a them problem.
That is a them problem. You do.
So,
You did hear while you were rushing your way out of the city, Rava. You do hear some brief yelling at your direction, just in general. But through your rushing and your final check, you seem to lose them as you rush outside the gates and into the snowy fields outside the city. Can I also get another check from the three of you for stealth?
Just 10.
oof.
22.
28.
24.
That's fine.
Pass without traces.
It's so good.
Stellar.
I love that spell. Anyway,
Right.
though you cannot tell where Rava went, other than that one little comment from the kid, you're able to make it outside of town. Do you wait for them at all, Rava?
Yeah, generally waiting at a little ways out of town. A little ways for us, maybe not on normal feet.
To the two-leggers.
Yes.
The bipedal.
The bipedal
ones.
people. You do catch up with Rava.
Oh. Well. We did it. I knew we.
You do still need to make it outside of the snowy mountain range. Ashera did say that she would meet you basically out. The north is a snowy mountain range, but the snowy mountain range is kind of like slapped right in the middle of the desert. And this is whole planar shenanigans stuff, which is why it doesn't melt. But she's gonna meet you out on the sands.
Sand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Joy.
So you would have to make your way out that direction.
Right. Let's. We know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, do we want to roll around in the snow a little bit to get some of the soot off?
Oh. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't really like being cold, but I suppose we could do that.
It would keep some of the stairs down.
That is fair.
I'd say by this time it's probably early evening. I'd say to get out of the area, it'd be a couple hours. It'll be dark by the time you get there, but honestly, the quicker you probably get rid of this stone, the better.
We did say that we'd meet them in the morning and also message them when we had it, which granted would have required me to have prepared sending, which I absolutely did not.
Same.
Yeah, she did say she'd meet you out there, and that she would be there, but wait until tomorrow night before leaving and contacting someone else.
Well,
Shall we be off?
I say we get there, and then in the morning we can message her and let her know that we're here. Where
I
exactly?
think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds. Are you gonna stay in the snow, or are you gonna stay in the sand for camping out?
The sand.
Sand gets everywhere. All the little
Um,
nooks and crannies.
I don't like.
Grannies!
What was that, Rava?
I don't like having to brush sand out of my feathering.
Don't really care for either sand or snow, in fact, but if given my druthers, the sand's a little easier to. I'd rather not die of hypothermia today.
What cuddling's for?
Rava can make us a
Is
fire.
that enough for Ursa?
We have some rope. I've lived a long life.
Get up.
All right, bye, Mindy. I would just like some kind of survival check to hide your camp, regardless of where you set it up.
Gonna guidance that.
All right. To find the right spot to set up camp.
I will, given that I have camped out a few times
Dirty.
being a traveling. I was gonna say.
You got dirty 20?
Yes, I got a dirty 20.
And I heard votes for both, so where are you going? Snow or sand?
Sand.
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 Yeah.
I got a 26.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got a 24.
Holy cow, all of you. Holy
Oh,
horses.
Survival's a wisdom.
That's true. That's true. Between
I wasn't
all of you.
looking.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying I wasn't looking. I thought Rava was the only one rolling. So I'm just following along, eating the
fair.
last of my cookies.
Fair. Between all of you, you're able to find a several like sand dunes that are kind of like back to back to back, and you're able to nestle yourself in between like all of them and more or less stay hidden. You, I would like to get one perception check from everyone for the night.
Eight.
Was that, you said 8?
Yeah.
9.
Plumeria.
7,
Oh,
include -1.
so the only one who did good is the one
12.
okay, the one who did the best has a negative modifier in their wisdom.
I'm very old.
And probably very tired.
I was on fire today. Did you see that?
The ladies don't notice shit. But Rava, you do hear far off in the distance the sound of dogs, but they don't seem to be coming in your direction. You all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, goody.
Are we all preparing sending?
Yes.
Who's sending the first sending?
Are we all doing it at the same time?
Yeah. Either time or let Rava go. Oi, we got ya, rock. You can reply to this message.
Wait,
I'm gonna vote for Ursa to send this message, and I'm gonna keep Rava's mouth shut.
wait.
It's not
Okay.
a.
Okay, but like I also like to
There are
imagine. Did
verbal
you say this out loud? When
Yes.
Rava sent a sending out loud and mentally.
Got the point across.
Is anyone else sending a sending?
We'll send a serious one of the job is done.
Rava, you hear
Ursa.
you get the little ping in your head saying you're getting the message, like a response back, and there's a very long pause before you hear, "Thank you." Yes, Mango, it's a sending Zoom call. Ursa, you get a response of, "Thanks. I will meet you at the drop-off point within the hour."
Great.
That's what they said.
They said within the hour.
All right.
Okay. I'm just going to keep a lookout with to make sure nobody else that we don't want here is following us.
I do, instead of rolling up my bedroll, want to take it and lay it across the crystal, even though it's covered in 600 feet of rope.
Sure. That's easy enough. Sorry, excuse me. As you travel across the sands, the sun is rising and it is hot and dusty and sand gets everywhere in all the places you don't want. Your hooves are sinking into the sand and it is annoying to travel through. I would like, well, first of all, Ashera said she would meet you at the drop-off point, which is essentially, there is a road. It's not actually a road, but there are marked pathways leading up between the city of Umalor to the city of Falkirk. And she's essentially saying, I'm going to meet you east of this drop-off point. And as you're making your way there, I need only Granny May to make a perception check and then an arcana check.
I'm very old. But I'm very smart. That was a 3 for perception and a 6. Oh, wait, no, I'm proficient in Arcana. 19 for Arcana.
You don't notice as it happens. You only notice it as it's too late.
Oh, of course, that's the best time to notice things.
But you do recognize what is happening as it happens.
Oh, God.
All of you begin to feel this weird shimmer in the air. And your feet and hooves and the cart all begin to start hovering over the ground, and you cannot move. You are suspended and more or less levitating in place. Granny May, your connection to the plains, you have a headache as this suddenly comes up onto you, and as it happens, and you are immediately able to realize that your group is caught in a planar flux when other planes of existence touch down onto the material.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you are all hovering and levitating above the ground. There are some rocks, as well as miscellaneous careening, just splotches of sand are like moving across moving across in front of you. Some of it hits you.
Hard?
Oh no, not hard enough to do damage, but it's just like, pocket sand.
See anything from the... Do we see anything from the other side?
Usually when a plane touches down,
Yeah.
you do see stuff. So, especially from the elemental planes, you do see, rocks suddenly jumping out of the ground, fire randomly coming out of nowhere, major gusts of wind, or stones. But this one's a little different than other ones you've seen and experienced. It doesn't seem to have that. It's just a lot of swirling chaotically back and forth, and you do feel every once in a while you'll kind of maybe rotate.
Oh.
There's no rhyme or reason.
This puts
Hooves everywhere.
context the question you asked in DM chatter the other day.
Yes, it does. It does, Draven.
I'm of course not going to leverage that information.
No.
Well...
With an intelligence of 14 and no proficiency in any intelligence checks, would I be able to figure it out? Figure out that gravity has become optional here?
Granny May, how much you talking about our planar expert from...
What? Oh, how much of...
How much you talking about when you realize this suddenly is happening?
Oh. I think we have a problem. I think we might have another planar... So I will try to explain it probably with far more eloquence than Mindy can, but I will share that this is not it's a plane. It's another plane. And I'm just floating in circles, struggling.
If you all want to roll intelligence arcana checks to figure out which one this is, you can.
Granny, does this mean dispel doesn't work here?
I don't even know what's happening. I've
I
only
can't make
seen
this go away.
I don't think so.
What was that, Raven?
22.
8.
30, 20.
30-20.
I mean, for an Arcana check, it's an 18.
Raven, since you were privy to that information, would you like to tell everybody what Granny May, Plumeria, and Rava know?
So what's happened is the plane of limbo has touched down on Etios, which means that in the surrounding area, gravity has become subjective. You can choose which direction you're pulled by gravity. Kind of like swimming or through the air. Except you can do fancy tricks where you turn yourself sideways and fall parallel to the Earth rather than at the Earth.
Yeah,
So we know how to get out of this?
in this theory.
Keep
Everyone but
swimming.
me.
You know that feeling of falling through the air after you jump? Think about it in that direction. Think about it in that direction.
What are y'all doing?
I would like to try and get out, and if I can figure out how to get out of this gravitational weirdness, if I had, that's my goal. Also, Ursa, grab my tail. I'm trying to get us out of here.
I grab on hold, grab a hold, and it's hard.
I'm trying to be a reindeer.
Anyone who is trying to get out, I need y'all to roll, we'll say intelligence saving throws if you have proficiency in them.
Okay.
Rude.
Said?
What was that,
Luckily.
Rava?
You said if we have proficiency.
If you have, I don't know if clerics have proficiency in intelligence saving throws, but
We don't.
okay, then
Nope.
just intelligence checks. What was that even?
Yeah, none of us have intelligence.
Okay, I didn't remember what y'all had off the top of my head.
13.
That's a 9.
Good. Great. We're doing great. This is how it
That's
ends.
a 26. Because
What'd
I
you-
rolled 20 and then I rolled 4 on my
Y'all.
cantrip, and then
Yeah, y'all can use your cantrips. I don't think it would help some of y'all.
I don't have guidance.
I don't have
No.
guidance.
Ursa, would you roll?
I'm hanging on to Plumeria.
So she's based on my roll, which definitely intelligence-wise is a great plan.
This is
Um,
going so well.
Rava, you're the only one able to exert your will on gravity for yourself and the cart.
But do I look like a reindeer?
What'd you roll? Did you
I
get?
rolled a 13.
With a
Okay, I look
13,
like a
you-
reindeer. I'm just not getting out.
Not getting anywhere.
You know, I'll take it. I'll take it.
But though, unfortunately, Rava's able to exert his will on gravity, but the three of you are suddenly pelted with sand as it hits really hard this time
Oh.
around.
Oh.
You take 9 damage as you
What's-
are pelted.
What's the damage type?
Bludgeoning.
Mm.
Rava, what are you doing?
checking to see what spell level is sending.
3rd?
Right. That takes that option. Actually, no. So would using I don't know how I'm going to be able to argue this. So I've prepared, gone back to my normal prepared spell instead of healing word, ceremony.
Okay, which I think takes an hour to cast?
Yes. But I'm just trying to read through all of the effects. I don't think any of them are going to apply.
You also have no clue how long this flux is gonna last either. None of y'all do.
Yeah. I don't think consecrate is available yet. I think that's a 4th level spell anyway. No, I'm gonna just wait here, see how long it takes. I don't know how long fluxes last normally.
It's variable. It changes. It's different for everyone.
How far are we from the meeting point?
Within half an hour.
And how much time do we have left from our hour meeting time?
45 minutes. Mindy?
Just gonna go, and then I'll be back once I've dropped off the rock.
Nope, you're not leaving here without us, Rava.
So
You are not leaving here without us. Rava,
I explained how to get down, and you're
Nope.
in the air. So clearly you don't want to be down.
No, you're not leaving.
Mindy, what were you gonna say?
I don't know if this is gonna work. But it's fine. We're floating. I'm reindeering. I'm seeing that Rava is now apparently gonna go off on his own.
Oh no, if Rava is trying to leave, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Granny May.
So while that's happening, while things are quickly spiraling out of control, I would like to. How far away have we floated? Like, how big is the space that's being
Would you like
affected
to?
that I can see with the sand moving?
Yeah. Roll a perception check, please. You can roll with advantage since you're familiar with
Okay.
planar crap.
It was all terrible. 14?
Yeah, you can see that probably between all the sand moving around, it's probably like 50 feet away before you can get out.
Beautiful. I would like to see if I can disrupt it.
Is
I
this a class ability?
No.
What are you trying to do?
I'm going to I'm gonna try to it's fine. I'm a child.
It's
I'm
fine.
going to reach my hands out and I'm going to try to tear a new space out of reality, and I'm going to warp the fabric of what is happening now and use Hunger of Hadar in a space that nobody's in, but I'm trying to, if I can create my own space that is occupied, maybe disrupt what is happening
I like
here.
this. Roll a spellcasting ability check with your, proficiency and your wisdom modifier.
He rolled a 10. I rolled a 3 on the die.
Oh, Mindy! Oh no!
It's okay.
The spell goes off, but it doesn't seem to disrupt what's going on.
Okay.
If y'all want to try again to exert your will on gravity, you're more than welcome to.
I will do so.
Would you like to roll yourself this time, Ursa?
I
Yes, please.
explained Ursa, yeah, what exactly it is that we're trying to do.
What was the check?
Intelligence.
9.
14.
All my good rolls are done. I'm done for the night, y'all.
Just cocked. Oh, there we go. 18.
The DC is 15, by the way. But Plumeria, you are able to exert your will.
Ursa and I are just, well, great. Now they can go fight while they're over who has to. God bless it.
So are we going now?
Hold on. Now that I'm here with you, Rava, Granny May, Ursa, if we leave, we'll come back for you. Are you cool
No,
with that, or do
no,
you want us
no.
to wait? Okay.
Get me out of this,
We're staying here.
please.
Mm-hmm.
I have at least one barrel of gold that I'm willing to share.
I have one more thing I'd like to try.
Okay, go for it.
So I will use a channel divinity. This is not for its intended purpose, though.
That's okay.
And I would like to rend existence. So as an action, you present your holy symbol, begin to bend and twist reality around you to deal an amount of force damage equal to 5 times your cleric level. Now,
think
it's designed to be for creatures. I don't want to target any creatures necessarily, but it's any area 30 feet around me.
I will say, even though that this is not its intended purpose, sorry, Deej. I will say this works.
Okay.
If you want to, your
I'm
plainer,
essentially-
your plainer flavor, you can. I will say it works. And
Okay.
would you like to tell us how what happens?
So I am. So you're already kind of seeing. It's almost like it's like a force field, but it's coming in like bits and pieces. And it's almost like, you know, when plastic like crinkles and you see like the wrinkle. That's essentially what's happening. It's like it's impacting whatever is here, and it's just starting to like condense, and we slowly or quickly drift down. I imagine it's at different paces in different areas because it's not like, but it's all centralized around me. So if Ursa's within 30 feet, I would imagine she falls quicker than if she were further away.
She's probably within.
And we land gracefully because we're very graceful.
And almost as if this little bit getting disrupted, the sand everywhere just falls back down.
Oh,
No. I could have just let it fly up to you and you could have pulled you down.
well, I'm honestly just glad you didn't cast a fireball at us. Progress.
Hadn't even crossed my mind.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Do you want a cookie?
All your
I thought you finished them. Yes.
I did. I was hoping he would say no. I will.
Rava
make-
doesn't get any cookies. Rava almost left us. And he
Well,
would have taken all the money too.
That's good. I don't have any cookies next time.
back.
All right, let's go. Before the planes start shifting again.
Got my eyes on you, Rava.
Without any trouble.
Had him there for a long time.
Without any trouble, you're able to make it the rest of the way to the meeting point where you're meeting Ashera. You see her clay golem guardian standing next to her, as well as a cart that is hovering slightly over the sand with a couple of horses hitched to it. You do notice that these horses hooves don't seem to sink into the sand. This is like a special breed of horse that they are meant to walk over the sand without any issues. And as you approach, she nods at all of y'all. No troubles, I expect?
You know, no. No, it was easy. Cakewalk.
It was nice. Nice bonding experience.
They're gonna think the shrews were behind it.
Good.
You're in the clear.
I'd make y'all roll deception, but she doesn't really care.
I mean, I can if you want.
Fair enough.
Of course. Good to hear it. I have your payment in the back of the cart. 1,000 gold to split between all of you, along with Horseshoes of Zephyr.
I thought that was 2,000 gold to split between us.
I also did not have the money, but I have thrown in some magical items for you. Other magical items.
That's what I thought. Okay.
We can do a trade. Get that help. If you could assist Elma in getting those into the cart, I will begin offloading your gear for you. Elma, the clay golem, begins to taking these sacks of gold and like magical items, putting them in the sand, and probably with the help of Rava, gets the gem into the cart.
I will be supervising the money and the magical items coming onto our cart very carelessly.
There's some armor, a couple weapons, along with the horseshoes and small minor magical items. Well, I look forward to doing business again, if needed.
Yeah, anytime.
It'll be fun.
Sure, fun is the right word. Well, have a lovely day. And she will get in her cart with her horses, the Kyber shard, and her golem.
Did she take my rope?
No, she had her own rope.
Okay.
It is securely fastened to the cart with her own rope. She did give it a weird look with how much rope you had.
Got plenty of storage space.
And with that, you have successfully completed your heist, and you got paid.
Hey!
Woo! Round of applause.
We did it! I'm
And
so
nobody
proud of us.
died.
Nobody died.
died.
And honestly, like, Rava did the most damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud.
Everybody.
Both directions.
With that, let's do some sign-offs. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Oh.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jordan, aka the Lady Dame, or Lady Dame. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at the Lady Dame. Let's see. I stream on my own channel Saturdays through Mondays for the moment, I believe, is how that's gonna go. My schedule's sort of changing a little bit for December, but follow me on Twitter for all of the fun stuff that I'm up to. Particularly Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific, I do Smutty Saturdays, which are a blast with the wonderful Kaila. This week is gonna be with Kaila and Liz, my mean and most loveliest of guests, and I'm very excited. I think we're doing anime this week.
Oh gosh.
Anime smut. It's gonna be a good time. I also am on Open for Adventure every Wednesday at noon Central in the Uncaged anthology. We're coming up on our finale, and then we're going to take a week or so break before we come back for season 2 of that. And then I'm also going to be, let's see, I feel like I've got other stuff, but I'm also in a podcast that's going to be coming out January 3rd called The Watch of Black Glass. It's going to be super rad. There's already so many feels and wonderfulness, so highly recommend checking it out.
Popcorn.
She didn't, so I'll go.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I didn't, sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, I'm Mindy. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Miss Mindykins. Basically everywhere on the internet, I'm Miss Mindykins at this point. I also stream on my own channel Saturday nights and Wednesday nights. You can find me also on Open for Adventure tomorrow morning at 10:30 Central Time. Oh God, I got confused about time zones. Tomorrow is our mid-season finale. There may or may not be a wedding where I may or may not be a bride. I may or may not have not forgotten. I may or may not have not written my vows yet. It's fine. And you also find me on Open for Adventure on Monday nights at 6:30 Central Time. Playing there. You can... there's one more thing. I also just want to make it clear that today I played a subclass created by D&Deej. It is available through his Patreon. It was the Void domain. And so if you are at all interested, and that was one of 4 that he released last month. So if you are at all interested, you should go check out his Patreon. He's got some really incredible content over there. That's me.
I guess I will go next. Hi, I'm Kaila. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch here at KMC. Twitter has an underscore, I think. I don't remember my own handle anymore. You can find me on my own Twitch tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for just early morning Sunday paint and chill. You can also find me with Lady Dame tomorrow night for Smutty Saturday. You can find me usually every other Tuesday on Craftic Studios, where we play a 5e campaign called Saving Face. I play our half-elf paladin Diana, who may be a little shady for a paladin. Other than that, I paint things and hang around all the things, supporting all my friends, because they all do great things. And I love them.
I just realized none of us did favorite parts.
And that's what I was gonna do.
Okay. We'll do you and then we'll backtrack.
Hello, I'm Raven. You can find me at Unanimous2 on Twitter and here on Twitch, Unanimous the number 2. I stream video games whenever I feel like it. And it can be sporadic what genre of game that I'm playing. And you can also find me at, I can't remember if it's just Eviscerate or the Eviscerates channel.
Eviscerate.
Second. What?
It's just Eviscerate. There is no the.
Okay, at Eviscerates channel on every second and fourth Saturday, playing a Minotaur, also from Greek mythology. We have a good time. We dress fancy, and we get stabbed at level 0.
They also get caught in explosions.
We also get caught in explosions. That could, in theory, kill us.
Yeah, level 0 babies. What was y'all's favorite part?
My favorite part of this evening was, I think, everybody's reaction when I said maximized fireball. Not just regular fireball, but maximized to do 48 points of damage, or 24 if they succeeded the save. Thankfully, this character was originally a paladin, so the save DC was very low.
It did help us a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Just a little bit. What about everyone else's favorite part?
My favorite part was Granny May selling the cookie to the child and slipping the keys, and there's no suit.
We gotta get rid of the evidence.
That granny sleight of hand is perfect.
I also like that moment, but I liked it because it was like a group effort. We're gonna distract mom.
But also, we're still covered in soot.
So we should. I liked the. Hey, should we just like roll around in the snow for a little bit? Yeah, probably a good idea. I like how it was just roll around. I imagined a bunch of centaurs just rolling around in
Yeah.
the snow.
You do.
Yes, just like that.
Yep.
My favorite part, I was gonna also say the cookie moment because it was so good. Probably, like the tying the Kyber shard up in 600 feet of rope and using that instead of a blanket to cover it. Sure, do that. It's great.
I also really liked our very intricate plan and how smoothly it went
went so well.
exactly as we planned it.
About how also, all
We
the
didn't make
times
it to
that I'm
plan like F or something.
We did have
Yeah.
many plans in place.
You did.
And then we
Sure
just
did.
kind of winged it when we got there.
It's fine. It worked.
It worked beautifully.
And finally, hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I am also a player on Open for Adventure, and I'm currently playing in the Numenera campaign, a system by Monte Cook Games, on Saturday nights at 8:30 Eastern. We have 2 more sessions left of Season 1, and then we will be returning in 2021 with Season 2. So we have 2 more episodes. I also stream on my own channel. Tomorrow afternoon I will be running another one-shot based in the Witches and Spellcraft system by Margaret Crone, and that's at 1 p.m. Eastern here. And every Sunday I run and play a video game with my husband on Golden Sunday, where we just love and play our favorite childhood TTRPG. And make lots of funny voices that make you regret watching us. My favorite part was basically the fact that Kaila was just playing a My Little Pony with the cutie mark on her flank. But also, I liked how y'all were dealing with the planar flux and the arguments that came from that.
I'm stuck.
Y'all are stuck.
I just really liked how you let go of Plumeria's tail because Plumeria could not get you out, and then Plumeria was like, yeah, I'm out of here now. I like to think that Plumeria just needed like a little extra like breathing room to get herself out.
She didn't need her extra baggage.
She was nailed down.
Oh my gosh. And on that note,
Wait, I have a card for this.
is it an oof card?
It's a yikes
Oh, yikes.
card. But
It's another good one.
thank you everybody for joining us. And we'll see you around the TTRPG space. Have a lovely evening.